Well, it's an unforgettable end to 2016 and an hilarious start to the new year. I'm talking about, of course, Fawlty Towers live on stage. And it's now time to take you behind the scenes. In 12 television episodes back in the 70s, John Cleese and Connie Booth created a comedy classic that would stand the test of time. Then in 2014, Cleese had the idea to adapt the show for the stage, so he took 3 of his favourite episodes from the original series and set about writing the live version, which successfully intertwines these plot lines into one story, culminating in a side-splitting conclusion. Cleese also was instrumental in the casting, ensuring they were not impersonations, but familiar characters with the actors putting their own stamp on them.
No, I've tried to make the Major my Major. So obviously I've been influenced by that wonderful actor, and I've looked at him a lot, but that's long ago, and I play Paul Bertram's Major.
One of my favourite episodes of the show would have had to have been Mrs. Richards when she was trying to hear what Basil was saying. I guess a sad situation because she's a bit hard of hearing, isn't she?
Yes, she is. Yeah, she's selectively deaf, actually. She does hear certain things, but yeah, it's, and like Paul, it's an iconic role, but one of the things that John Cleese asked of us is not to do an impersonation. He did give us quite specific instructions not to do that, but to make the characters our own. So that was a terrific relief in a way.
And release, It was great that he let us do that all week.
The reaction from Australian audiences has been phenomenal, hasn't it?
It's been incredibly generous and warm. Yeah, it's been wonderful. It's been lovely.
Many of us have grown up with the TV show. It is actually excerpts from the TV show live on stage, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, John did it probably, how many years ago? 30, 40 years ago.
1976, around that time.
He wrote it with his then wife, Connie Booth. And for a long while, I think they were wanting to convert it into a stage play, but it took him a damn long time to do it, and then he decided to test drive it in Australia because he likes Australian actors. So he came over and more or less hand-picked us, which was
which is lovely.
Very much of a privilege.
This is the world premiere of it on stage.
Well, let's hope that although Brisbane is the last stop in the Australian tour, perhaps he's so impressed with the actors that you might be able to go and play it elsewhere in the world.
I'm sure the show's got legs, that's for sure.
The show has definite legs,
Folks, it's a wonderful chance to talk to you, and we wish you all the very best for the Brisbane season.
Thanks very much. It's lovely to be here.
Yeah, it's a lovely.
Fawlty Towers Live is a faithful recreation of the 70s TV show. It is a fond trip down memory lane that brings some of the funniest moments from the series to the stage. Yes, they are all there. The hotel inspectors, the German tourists, just don't mention the war, and even the rat makes a cameo. Brisbane is the final stop on the world premiere Australian tour, which has had enormous success and challenges.
Doing a tour can be tough because you're doing, I can't remember how many shows we're up to now.
129.
130. Yeah. So a challenge for any actor, I think, over a tour is to keep things fresh and make sure that you're not calling it in and you're giving everybody a good performance every night. That's the job.
Sid, playing Manuel, it's such a physical role. Any injuries?
No, I remember early on in rehearsals it was very tough on my knees because for some reason I decided that he would, I'm small already, but I wanted to make him smaller, and so he's bent-kneed and hunched over the whole time, but still able to move very quickly. And because we were on our feet, 8 hours a day, 5 or 6 days a week for rehearsals, I remember walking home from rehearsals after about the 3rd day and my knees were really aching, but no injuries. I get whacked a fair bit, but if Stephen whacks me in the right spot, then it makes a great sound, but it doesn't hurt.
So it's all in the technique, you say?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your favourite scene you do in the show?
Oh, I love the dining room dance that we do. So I love all of the miscommunication that happens in the dining room and how close Sid and I can just pass each other without completely colliding. The challenges every night and the mishaps.
We've sort of adjusted it and got a bit more fancy with
That's
that,
quite a
with
ballet,
what we
isn't it?
call our ballet. Yeah. So, you know, now
We'll come off stage and high five. Like,
Polly
yes.
reaches over with a menu and I duck under, you know, which we didn't start with those sort of moves. And they give us an enormous thrill.
Yes.
Of course, in the rehearsal room, there's no laughs, there's no audience.
Yeah.
Was it a big shock the first time you put it on stage and you all of a sudden got those laughs and got that instant reaction?
No, it was a relief, not a shock. I knew it was funny. We all knew it was funny. The show is funny. So that was, if we were doing anything right, it was always going to be funny, I think. But it was a relief. They're going, yes, we're doing it right. Yeah. Because when you're in the rehearsal room, you're doing it 100 times over. So you're not trying for the first laugh anymore. You're trying for the 17th laugh, the 18th laugh. So you're finding really weird intonations and things to make other cast members laugh. And before opening night, you need to pull it back to the first time someone watches it.
For any of us, Sid, I mean, we've all grown up on the series. We all know the jokes, we know the punchlines, but we just can't seem to help laughing.
I know, it's a gift to play these characters. For me, in terms of the laughter, I was really surprised in the I Know Nothing scene, how big the laugh was, how long it would be and how long we would have to hold it for and keep the silent communication going with the other actor until it had died down enough to get the next line out, and then that thing would happen again. You know, that was the surprise for me. Not that there were the laughs, but how big and how sustained they were. Yeah. And you know, it's such a joy to do it in front of 800 people and have... I think it was Amy, you said really early in one of the first interviews we ever did about when you watch it alone in your lounge room or with your family in your lounge room, there's this little group laughing together, but to get 800, 900 people all laughing together, there's something about that energy that's quite incredible.
Brisbane is the last in the tour. Is it going to be sad to say goodbye to these characters?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Really sad.
Brisbane is now the last stop on this world premiere tour around Australia, and if you would like to catch the show, you don't have very long. It's only in town for another 3 weeks, so book your tickets on QTix 136246 or online at qpack.com.au.